Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Trailhead Ranger NJ. And in our previous video, we have discussed about relationships in Salesforce. And in that video, we have covered lookup relationship, master detail relationship, and many-to-many relationship. We discussed like what are their advantages, their limitations, how what use case or in what scenarios we need to choose what kind of relationship we should create and how we can create in our orgs. So now we will be continuing with that. This is a part 2 of that video, and we'll be starting this video by discussing about hierarchical relationship. So what exactly is hierarchical relationship? It is a unique type of lookup relationship which is available only for the user object in Salesforce, and it allows one user to be linked to another user in a parent child structure, and often used to represent reporting hierarchies within an organization. So as its name suggesting hierarchy, so it is only available for user object. We can't create this relationship with any other object in Salesforce. And this kind of relationship we create when we want to have a parent child structure between two users in our org to represent the hierarchy between them. What are the key points of hierarchical relationship? First is exclusive to the user object, as we discussed that it will be only available for the user object. Then custom field. A custom hierarchical relationship field will be created to establish the link between those two users. Then non-recursive. A user cannot refer to themselves or create circular references. Means if we are creating this relationship, if we are having a user A, then user A cannot reference to himself, that is user A, but he can reference to user B or user C. Then use case focus, typically used to model managerial or reporting relationships. So again, just to maintain hierarchy or to show hierarchy, we create this kind of relationship. Then next, when to use hierarchical relationship. So here we are discussing one use case. Like if you are having similar use case, then you can create this kind of relationship. So suppose if you are having a reporting structure and you want to track the reporting structure within your organization, where each employee reports to one manager, then you can create a custom field on the user object using that hierarchical relationship data type and name it as manager. Then if we are having two users which are sorry employees, then user A can have user A will be our employee, which can be having a child relationship and as a parent to manager. Manager would be our user B again. Then user B will be a child for user C, and user C will be a director. So this establishes a clear hierarchy. So where we can use it, we can use it in workflows, approvals, or reporting. This field can be used to identify the reporting manager for an employee. So if you have worked with approval process, you remember there we need to enter manager sometimes, so we can directly reference that field here instead of just entering one field. Because for suppose we are having if three users, different employees, there could those three could be having different managers, not one manager. So for that scenario, we can use one approval process by using that manager field instead of giving one direct user in that field for approval process. Then advantages. Hierarchical relationship simplifies approval processes where managerial hierarchy matters, and it helps define organizational structure for reporting and workflows. It improves clarity in managerial responsibility tracking, and this relationship type is specifically useful in automating processes where understanding a chain of command is crucial. So in and all, wherever we require that hierarchy should be maintained and we need to define or identify the structure for reporting, we should use hierarchical relationship there. But we need to remember that it will only be available for user object only. Then we are having next relationship as external lookup relationship. So if you see hierarchical relationship is also a kind of lookup relationship, and now we are having external lookup relationship. So this relationship connects a child object could be any standard object, custom object, or any external object which we want to refer to a parent external object. And the parent object resides in an external system. External system could be anything like Oracle, SAP. So we could access the parent object in that system from our Salesforce, and is accessed using Salesforce Connect. To access child object to connect child object with the parent object which is residing in the external system, will be using Salesforce Connect. It is a feature existing in Salesforce to access the external systems. So this type of relationship allows Salesforce records to reference external data without storing it in Salesforce. So yeah. Now, how exactly it works? So we are talking about a parent external object which will be residing in the external systems, and will be using it in our Salesforce, or we would want to access that data in our Salesforce. So the external object is a representation of data stored outside Salesforce, such as in an external database or ERP system. It will be containing a unique external ID field used for matching. So external ID field could be anything, but it should be unique for each and every record. Even if you say that data is on one Excel sheet, and we are having serial number for all the records, but that serial number should be unique for each record, that then only it will work, and we can consider that serial number as an external ID field. Child object, a Salesforce object which could be standard, custom, or external. So it will be referencing the external object through an external lookup relationship field. So on that child object, we will be creating an external lookup relationship field, and you can create that field with the same procedure as lookup relationship and master detail, by going to the field and relationships and then creating a new field. There will you see data type as external lookup relationship. And then relationship setup, the relationship field on the child object matches the value of the external ID field on the parent external object. So as I was giving an example, that on parent external object we could be having a serial number as a field which is unique for each record, and then on child object we will be creating a field as a data type of external lookup relationship. So these two field will match and then map the records. Now when we should use external lookup relationship? So if we are having a company who maintains its product inventory in an external system such as SAP, and this inventory data is integrated into Salesforce using an external object. Now the company wants to link each Salesforce order record to the related product in the external inventory system. So how shall we proceed? So now we will consider as parent external object as product inventory, which is coming from that SAP, and field would be external ID. We are considering that there is a field on that parent external object, external ID, and the product name and stock quantity. Now for the child object, we are having a object name as order, and there are fields such as order ID, customer name, and product reference, which is an external lookup relationship field. Now what we will do, we will create an external lookup relationship on the order object which is on the Salesforce, and match product reference field on the order object with external ID field on the product inventory object which is an external object. So I hope you could understand this. More detail you will get to know when you will work on it exactly, but this is the gist of it. Whenever you want to reference an external object or any data residing outside of Salesforce, you will need to take the help of external lookup relationship by considering one of your object as a child object and the other object's data which you want to refer from external systems as a parent object, and there should be a field which is unique to it and consider as a external id field. So what is its advantages? That is no data duplication. So obviously when we are saying that there will be external id field which is unique for all records, so it implied that all the records will be not duplicate of each other. So external data stays in the source system while being referenced in Salesforce. Real time data access, updates to the external system automatically reflect in Salesforce. So when we connect it via Salesforce Connect, whatever updates being made to the outside system, it will reflect automatically in the Salesforce. Then simplified integration. It allows seamless connection to external systems for scenarios like inventory management, pricing, or product catalogs. So now we are having last relationship. It's the last relationship we are talking about in this video. So this is indirect lookup relationship. Again, it is a type of lookup relationship, but this is different from basic lookup relationship, hierarchical relationship, and external lookup relationship. So what is indirect lookup relationship? Indirect lookup relationship is used to link a child external object to a parent standard or custom object in Salesforce. So if you read this line again, you will understand that is it's just opposite of the external lookup relationship. In external lookup relationship, we are having external object as a parent and whatever object we are having on the Salesforce side as a child object. But in indirect lookup relationship, we will be considering external object as a child and parent object as whatever present in the Salesforce. So it is a specialized relationship type used for integrating external data into Salesforce via Salesforce Connect, and this relationship allows Salesforce records to reference data stored in an external system, ensuring seamless integration without data duplication. So it is just as same as external lookup relationship. Now what's how will it work? Like we discussed about how does the external lookup relationship will work. Now we will be discussing about how indirect lookup relationship will work. So first, child external object, it will represent data stored in any external system like AWS, SAP, or Oracle, and contains a field with values such as external keys from the external system. But we were considering our Salesforce object as parent object, which could be a standard or custom object, and it will be containing a unique external id field to match values from the child external object. So if you see, always the parent object will be having that external id unique field which will help us to match the record with the child object. Just the difference is here the parent object is residing in Salesforce and the child object is in external system. But in external lookup relationship, it was vice versa. And the matching criteria, the child external object uses the indirect lookup relationship field to reference the unique external ID field on the parent Salesforce object. So that indirect lookup relationship field will be on the child external object. Now, in which scenarios we shall use indirect lookup relationship? So now suppose we are having a company which is storing employees payroll data in an external system while employee information is maintained in Salesforce using a custom object called employee, and the company wants to link each payroll record to the corresponding employee record. So how we will set up it? We will consider parent Salesforce object as employee, which is a custom object, and its field employee id would be our external id unique field, and we would be having one field as employee name as well. Then the child external object will be a payroll record, and there would be a field as payroll id which is unique external identifier, and again there will be employee reference field which would match with the employee id of our parent object. and then there will be a field of salary. So we will create an indirect lookup relationship on payroll record and match the employee reference field on payroll record with employee ID on employee object, which is in Salesforce. So that's how we'll be able to create indirect lookup relationship. Now, how can we create exactly, like using what procedure? So we will first set up the Salesforce Connect. Now on Salesforce Connect, we will configure that external data source to access the external system. This we will cover in our other video where we will be discussing deep about Salesforce Connect, and we will create a external object. We'll define that payroll record or payroll related object there to represent that the external data will be coming from there, and then we'll define indirect lookup relationship on the external object. We'll create an indirect lookup field and reference the employee ID field in the parent object. Data synchronization will ensure that external data key aligns with Salesforce object keys. So I know you might not be understanding all of this, but this will you will be able to understand more clearly when you will directly applying it with your practice, like with your hands-on challenge. So I'll try to make a video on this to use how we can use that Salesforce Connect, so that way you can get the better understanding. Now, what are the advantages of indirect lookup relationship? That is real-time data integration. It can access external data dynamically without storing it in Salesforce. Data accuracy, it eliminates data duplication, ensuring consistency between system, and scalability, that is suitable for scenarios involving large volumes of external data. So now here we have reached to the end of video. We have covered as part of part 1 and part 2 of relationship in Salesforce videos all 6 relationship which we use in Salesforce, that is lookup relationship, master detail relationship, many to many relationship, hierarchical relationship, external lookup relationship, and indirect lookup relationship. So I hope you get to understand at least some part of it, and if there could be some things related to mostly the last two relationship which you might not be able to understand clearly, but those you will only understand when you will work on it in real time scenarios. But the basic understanding should be there, that where we should use it and how we can use it. So I hope you get that understanding, and if you do, you like the video, please like it, subscribe the channel, and let me know in the comment section if you are having any doubt, or if there is anything I should also put in this video and I have missed it. Thank you, stay tuned.